Well, hello, my fellow Americans and fellow Christians. Thank you for taking time to join me today. May the Lord bless you greatly. The title, When Walking Alone Meant Something. Of course, I am referring to a time when you could quietly walk by the riverside, by brooks, or sit near a pond in peace and collect your thoughts, bring up your imagination, and have a spiritual sense about life and the meaning yours brings to it. Or just wanting to enjoy peace and serenity of being. Just walking, sitting, standing, and gazing at the beauty and the impact of the spiritual therapy nature holds. The majesty of it all gave a sense of infinite wonder and possibilities life holds. There is a saying, saints walk alone. It is not so much they are of a greater caliber of thought or intelligence. It portrays an individual who is wise and beyond the everyday chatter the masses speak. The saint is not on the bandwagon of the whims and sways of the current events, hammered into society by journalism or social media. They are not confused in who they are, and they certainly do not need the praise of anyone to convince them who they are. There was a teacher who said, we need to do in this time, practice the things of humbleness. Somebody else said, you cannot practice humbleness because the humble man is already humble. In other words, it is innate in their character. We may be thrown a curve in life, but this is where walking alone makes the difference. Taking time to figure out the difficulty, the trial, the problem, by walking alone and thinking it out. It is not so much as being advice happy. It is a dime a dozen nowadays with social media, and generally, and if not all the time, most are wannabes or just individuals who have no idea what they are talking about. Everyone is a psychologist today, and for that matter, a walking know-it-all, just by keying in a genre on a search engine. It's simply amazing and astounding how so many national television journalists compromise their beliefs. We live in an age of complete corruption of principles, all in the name of celebrity, money, and fame, destroying the very ethos of moral character that secures a nation from destruction. My point is, we have no saints today who walk alone. They are enslaved or in league with the corrupt values of society. Society and social media is what gives meaning and existence, not the spiritual power of being in tune with what is proper and right. The groping for self-interest over just being oneself brings a constant emptiness for so many, never realizing the larger significance of being confident in who you are without anyone's approval. The sentence I'm about to read to you is from January 1945. It said, the problem today is to give that larger significance and dignity to a life that has been dwarfed by the world of material need. It is of great interest. The fight against the stature of materialism has been lost. Materialism has taken over every aspect of American life. What one possesses is still considered a staple of social status. No one considers the widow with 2 pennies that she puts in more than anyone else. Social media and the internet has created a socialism of materialism and stature. There were visionaries who saw this coming. One in particular was Rod Serling, who wrote The Twilight Zone. He saw more power in imagination and intellectual wit than in money or stature. This may sound a bit different, but even Bob Dylan, who kept himself, was asked why he was anti-American in his early days of singing. The FBI wanted to know where he got his material. He said, "I just write songs, man." They did not know how to answer. This is why Dylan is unique. He walks alone and thinks things out for himself. It is no secret I believe Christ is the answer to our dying culture. I do believe the corruption of materialism has destroyed the spiritual power and poetry of Christ. We can claim Christian all we want, but the real degradation is the church is in league with social status, social media, and the grasp for fame and wealth. Edward R. Murrow started with "This I Believe," describing everyday citizens trading in their beliefs for cynicism, and ended by saying good night and good luck. William F. Buckley mastered the bare-knuckled intellectual brawl with wit as a prosecutor and moderator. Today, walking alone and scholarly work does not intoxicate. It is social media and what is trending in the country. Using Edward R. Murrow's quote, "A nation of sheep will beget a government of wolves." We can reword this to "a nation of sheep will beget a people governed by social power." This, in fact, is our time. And I do not think we have among us saints who walk alone, who hear the still small voice by the brookside. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.